comes a gadget play. Randall L. He can throw. He was a quarterback in college. And he's thrown a touchdown to Hines Ward in the Super Bowl.
Whoops. Don Blackman was offside, so he is in the end zone for a touchdown.
Dedrick Dodge and Darius Johnson come in at the defensive back position. The throw.
John Mobley broke it up. And the Broncos are celebrating on the near sideline.
Garoppolo keeps play action. Pass is caught. Use check. Touchdown.
Here's Kelly back to throw again. And the end zone touchdown, Don Beebe.
Aikman. Touchdown.
O'Donnell is straight back this time with good protection going deep. He's got a receiver. Caught by Billy Waddy.
9 points. Manning over the middle. Pass is caught. Kevin Boss. Tripped up at the 35.
On the Raider 8-yard line. Marking again to pass. It's
Got
out
him.
there,
He's
wide
got him.
open,
Yes,
touchdown.
sir.
Gonna go deep down the far sideline. It is caught. Touchdown. Steve Smith.
Greetings, people of Earth, and how are you? And welcome to the third floor for NFL Tuesday night, where we recap Week 14 and we do Week 15 picks. We do this every week. We are up to Week 15, ladies and gentlemen. We got playoffs happening. We got people walking off the field. We got all kinds of shit happening right now in the NFL. Man, it's a fun time to be alive, and it's a great time to be ready for the NFL at this time of year, man. I am so pumped for this time of year. It's unbelievable. Yeah, a little opening, man, with some Super Bowl clips from the great broadcasters of the past. Some big plays there, man. Steve Smith to end it. One of my favorite all-time receivers for sure. So, hey, we're going to get things going real quick. Just get in that description and get to our sponsors. Christiana's designer handbags. No two bags are alike. The link is in there. Hit it. Bowser Bros Painting. The link is in there. Hit it. They got a special going on in the Berkeley, Sacramento, and San Francisco areas only. That's what that's for. But check the link out. They got big things happening. Dubby energy drinks. Hey, gamers, energy. Dubby's you. Podcasters, you need Dubby to keep going. Dubby energy drinks. Blasting. Get in there and use my links, my referral links. 20% right now. 15% discount on an order. Get in there and save big. Reaper Apparel Company. Holy shit, people. They've got some incredible merchandise. Get in there and save big. Their prices are good to begin with, but with my links, even more savings. It's the holidays. It's Christmas. It's time to give. So here's some gift ideas for you. Dubby Energy Drinks. It's quick and easy for that person on your list. Reaper Apparel, there's something there for everybody on your list, especially that oddball uncle or that oddball cousin. You're going to love what they got there. Christiana's designer handbags, I'm telling you, they're out of this world. We're adding more pictures now. They'll be on the website. Go to the website. That's in the link too. On the mothership, onthethirdfloor.com. Get in there, hit the links and merchandise. You'll see everything. We're going to be putting Bowser Bro pictures up. Everything's right there. Just get in that description right now. Help the show out if you can. Get the link. There's my dubbies. Save there. Help the show out. It's Christmas time, folks, so please dig deep into your heart and help them out. Help us show out. I'm helping you out with savings. Help me out to continue to help you out with savings. Holy smokes, the NFL has got some shit going down. There is a lot of shit going down, man. I'm telling you right now, it is unfucking believable what is happening in the NFL all over the place. Again, just before we get to the show, hey, look, I know it's This is an NFL show. I know that. But the elephant is in the room. All right. I got a message for you, Mr. Soto. Go fuck yourself. You just proved that you are not a fucking baseball player. You are nothing more than a money grubbing whore. All right? I got more respect for a bitch on the street hustling money to stay alive. And you're out there fucking bleeding $5 million. You're a fucking asshole. And Mets, I hope you get what you got coming. You're still little brother as far as I'm concerned. I'll get to that in a whole other show, but I just needed to address that because that's pretty much the major story right now going on. Juan Soto signing with the Mets for almost $800 million. It sounded believable. It means the next contract has to be a touching $1 billion. Baseball is out of fucking control. Get a fucking salary cap. I know it's way too late for the salary cap. Should have did it like baseball. You get a contract, but you don't have guaranteed money. A big difference, and the cap helps the sport. This is out fucking outrageous. Baseball, you lost the grip, man. You lost the grip. And while we're speaking of losing the grip, people in New Jersey are about to lose the grip with all these fucking drones flying overhead. It's the first time I wish I was still back in Jersey living. I would have had one down by now. There's no way in hell that someone hasn't taken one down. I cannot believe it. Tommy Sealy, if you're still out there, what the fuck you doing? Get your rifle out and fucking take one down. There ain't nobody in Jersey gonna fucking say anything or arrest you or anything for taking one of them down. Get them drones the fuck out of here. They're probably ours anyway. But those are the elephants in the room. Juan Soto, go fuck yourself, and somebody please shoot one of these drones out of the sky in New Jersey and make me happy and proud of New Jersey. All right, what do you say we get to the show? Yeah, there you go. We're almost getting to the show. All right, let's see what we got. We're gonna recap an incredible week 14. How we doing our picks? Well, we did all right. We went, I believe we were 8-5. I'm sorry, we were 8-5 and 6-7 on our over and unders. Took a beating this week. The over unders. I really didn't pay too much attention to the over unders. I probably should have paid a little bit more of attention to it than I originally did. I don't know why. Just flaked out there. So we had back-to-back bad weeks. Still down a mouse. Have to switch it up. Sorry about that. But yeah, we taken a bath the last 2 weeks on the over-unders, but this week I think we got it under control. I went to an old system. Let's see how we do in the over-unders this week because I think we'll do all right. This is the time of year when you really, really, really have to start paying attention to the when you have to really, really be paying attention to the over and unders for a couple reasons. One, if you got a team that's really hot and moving along and getting it going.
Martin,
Hey, over there. Sorry about that. The over and unders, what you got to remember is some teams might want to run a score up a little bit for some tiebreakers or whatever, but that's just rare. It's very rare. But you do start to see teams that turn it on and get to the attitude, well, if you can't stop us, we're going to keep scoring. Belichick's old adage. He liked doing that. Don't complain about me running up the score. Stop me from running up the score. I mean, that's just some of the things that happen, especially this time of year. So the over and unders, weather plays a lot into it. Now, it backfired on me in Buffalo. I figured it'd be an under game, but Buffalo had traction, man. So what are you going to do? When you're home like that, I should have gave the edge, but it just seemed like a little bit too much. But anyway, so start paying attention to those over and unders. Start paying attention to the weather. Start paying attention to the matchups. And what I mean by the matchups is who's looking for bonuses and stuff like that. These could lead to a little bit more passing. It could even lead to a lot more running. So you got a lot of factors to put in there for the over and unders from this point on. So let's recap week 14, and we'll get into the rest of our show with the week 15 picks. Here's our winners from week 14. We had the Packers, the Bucks, the Vikings, the Steelers, the Niners, the Seahawks, and the Bengals. What did we lose? We lost one game to the hook. Yeah, we lost. I forget what game it is. We lost one game to the hook on the pick, and we lost one game to the hook on the over and under. I think that was the Steeler game that we hit. We missed the over under by the hook, but it opened up Thursday night with the Packers at the Lions. This was a really good game. I mean, the Packers had a chance a couple of times to pull this out, but they just couldn't get it together for whatever reason. But what are you going to do? So, the Lions are playing really, really, really good ball, especially being so banged up. 8-9 guys on the injured list, and they got guys stepping up. They're signing guys out of the blue and stepping up, man. It reminds me kind of how Belichick used to just fill the holes with whoever. But the Lions, they hang on and go 12-1 for their 11th win in a row. 34-31 over the Packers. Packers dropped to 9-4. Sunday, wild game in Miami. The Jets had a great first half, fell asleep in the second half again. The offense looked pretty steady. Defense, looked normal. Penalties at bad times. Just, it's tough, man. It really is. It's really tough to be a Jet fan right now. That's Aaron Rodgers' first 300-yard game in, I think, almost 52 games. Something like that. It's a big number. It was a huge, huge number. But anyway, the Dolphins managed to come back and win the game in overtime with a touchdown, 32-26. They moved to 6-7, clinging on to whatever little hope they got. They don't have much, but hey, they're still in it. 32-26 in overtime over the Jets at home in Miami. The Falcons-Viking game, first quarter, great game. Second, third, and fourth, forget about it. He's a mess. He's a mess. Kirk Cousins is a mess. He's a mess, man. They said as long as they got a shot at the playoffs, they're going to leave him in there. They really have no shot. They have to they're really throwing a Hail Mary to get into the playoffs right now, as far as I'm concerned. But the Bucs doing what they needed to do on Sunday, for sure. Okay. Darnold with a huge day. 5 touchdowns, just a huge day, especially in the air. Looking great. Minnesota is looking good, man. Oh, there we go. Vikings looking good at home over the Falcons, 42-21. It really was no contest. Falcons dropped to 9-6, out of first place. Bucs take over first place. With their win over the Raiders, we're back in first place with a game in hand. Now we got to separate ourselves. We got a big game coming up against the Chargers. And the Falcons, of course, they're in Vegas playing the Raiders. I hope the Raiders wake up. If any week the Raiders are going to wake up, please let it be next week. Which brings us to our next game, which was another barn burner of a game. 14-11, Saints over the Giants with a blocked field goal in the last seconds of the game. What a play by that guy to block that. I forgot his name. I should have wrote it down. But man, what a fucking play. That's the epitome of being, I guess, a New York sports fan. Lately, man, especially between the Jets and the Giants, the way the Jets lose games, the way the Giants are losing games. Holy Christ, man. Oh man, it's so fucking tough. I am glad when I was younger I chose against those teams when they were right in my backyard, basically. But yeah, it's tough. Yeah, Giants lose 14-11 at home. They dropped to 2-11. Saints moved to 5-8, trying to cling on to their year. The Saints also lost Derek Carr for the year with a fractured hand. He is definitely out. Uh, oh well. Then the next game. I don't know what's going on in Philly, but Philly's got some issues, man. The Philadelphia Eagles have some issues. I don't know what's going on there, but people are throwing comments around like number one should do this, 11 should do that, this should be this, should be that. AJ Brown and Hurts, apparently they got a rift going. It seems like it's maybe something to do with off the field to me. Everybody's saying it's probably on the field or something to do with not getting enough throws to or targets or whatever the list, whatever it might be. Uh, when you make it public, that's a problem. And when you got a coach that's just a fucking nut and just does not say the right thing at the right time, doesn't help matters. He says, "Oh, everything's okay. Don't take it out of context." Well, you got to take some things out of context, my friend. And that's one of those things that you take out of context. I think you're crazy right there. I don't think you know what you're talking about, or you're just trying to cover something up that everybody in the world knows is going on. So, Panthers, they hung tough against the Eagles, but they wind up on a losing end 22-16. Panthers drop to 3-10, and the Eagles go to 11-2 with their ninth straight win in a row. And then we go to this was a good game. This was a good game. I thought this was going to be a weather game, but it was nothing more than just cold. So no weather games this week. We picked two weather games, and neither one turned out to be a weather game. So the Browns continue their losing ways. The Steelers beat them 27-14. Browns drop to 3-10. Steelers go to 10-3 with a stronghold on the division. We move on to Tampa and the Raiders in Tampa. They hold on 28-13. They go to 7-6. Raiders drop to 2-11. Huge win for the Bucks. Baker continues to have an amazing year. Bucky Irving went down early in the game, did not return with a back injury. Evans, he's back, but he only had a few catches for 68 or 69 yards. We need to target him a little bit more, especially with Godwin out. But everybody else is stepping up. So, hey, the Bucks are looking really good. The defense showed up this week, so it looks good. If we got the defense clicking the way they clicked against the Raiders, I know it's the Raiders, but a win is a win and a game's a game. You still hold a professional football team to 13, get the W. Either way, the defense looked better than they have, and the offense continues to just stay on fire. And let's remember one thing: that scar on Detroit. The reason that Detroit has that one loss is because Tampa beat them, and Tampa beat them in Detroit. That's huge if that comes back towards the end of the year in the playoff situation, as far as I'm concerned. If you're getting in here and you're hanging out, get in the chat it up. We love to hear from you. So chat it up if you're out there. Let us know what you got thinking. Get in the comments and everything. Get in the descriptions. Hit all those links in the descriptions and save big money. Jags Titans. Man, what a game. What a game. I don't know if this was defense or just suck ass offense, man. But Jags win. I picked against them. I go with the Titans, and the Titans put 6 points up on the board. Both teams dropped to 3-10. Jags are over the Titans in Tennessee, 10-6. We had the under. I told you that would be an under. That was way under. That wasn't even half of the under. And we move on to Seattle at Arizona. We had this one. I knew it. I felt it. Geno Smith continues his incredible year that he's having with another win, and they take sole possession of first place in the NFC West, which is just insane right now. Yeah, the Seahawks, they go to 8-5. Arizona drops to 6-7, which helps the Bucks in a weird way. The more teams that lose, it helps us, especially those teams with 6-7 losses. Definitely helps. Yeah, Seahawks 30-18 over the Cardinals. Bills-Rams, what a shootout! Highest scoring game of the season. They eclipsed 86 points, which is pretty cool. We had the over. Why not? Of course, you know it's going to be an over. But the Rams find a way to win the game. The Rams find a way to win the game, 44-42. Buffalo goes to 10-3, and the Rams move to 7-6. Like I said, in that crazy NFC West, they keep winning, but they're finding weird ways to win. Then we go on to another interesting game. The Niners were home against the Bears. The Bears dropped to 4-9. 49ers go to 6-7 on their 38-13 win over the Bears. Not much to talk about. Sunday night game. Wow. What a game. What a game. The Chargers look good. They look stout. They look impressive. They just came up short in a very good game, back and forth game. I think a great defensive game, I thought. I'm not, you can say what you want. The offense is a sputtering or whatever, but the defense stepped up in that game. That was a great game to watch. Kansas City comes up with the last second field goal there. I mean, again, Andy Reid knows what he's doing, but pay attention to our head coaches. That's how you use the time. That's how you use the clock at the end of the game. That's how you use your timeouts. That's a smart way to win it. Tough way to lose. In 19-17, Chiefs over the Chargers. Chargers dropped to 8-5, trying to hang tough. Chiefs are 12-1. They're still rolling along, and they won their 9th consecutive AFC West title. So congratulations to Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs for once again winning it out there in the middle of country in Kansas City. And then what I thought was a really, really bizarre game. For once, the Bengals find a way to win a game instead of losing a game. And the Cowboys invented a new way to lose a game when they could have won a game. How often do you see a block punt go past the line of scrimmage, be touched by the receiving team, not handle it? The punting team gets the ball back, moves forward, 2-3 plays later, chases in the end zone with the game-winning touchdown, 27-20, Cincinnati over the Cowboys in Dallas. Dallas is a mess, and it's really sad. The teams that were on a bye were the Texans, Commanders, Ravens, Patriots, Broncos, Colts, all going to be coming back this week with a vengeance as we get into the home stretch. Week 15 is upon us. Playoffs are forming. League leaders are forming. Records are about to be set. All kinds of stuff going on. We went through the week of field goal kickers couldn't do anything. Then we've come up to a week where we get a blocked punt wind up winning the game, and a blocked field goal which leads to a win. It's bizarro. It's bizarro time of the season, and I can't wait because this is where it really gets interesting, especially during week 15. Everything pretty much falls into place right after week 15. So there you have it. That's week 14 is a wrap. We move to week 15, and let's get our week 15 picks going. First of all, let's clear the board. Clear the board here. And let's get into this. Our first game up will be We got, let's see what we got. Alrighty. Our week 15 picks officially start now. We got the Rams at the Niners. Thursday night football. Thursday night football. We're gonna take the Niners minus 2.5. We got a 48.5 over under. We are going to take the over. Our next game on the slate is the Bucks. I don't know what they're doing there. My bad. Whoops. The Bucks. Sorry. The Bucks and the Chargers. Should be a good game. This is a big game. This is a game that without any doubt in my mind. Whoops. I am so sorry, folks. Without any doubt in my mind, this is the biggest game of the year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It just is. It doesn't get any bigger than this game here. This, my friends, is where the season for the Bucks takes formation, if you will. I've come along a lot of big games in my day, but this one here for the Bucks is the season. This is the season for the Bucks. And we're going to take the Bucks over the Chargers. The Bucks are +3, and the over/under is 46.5, and we were going to take the over. So we'll take the Bucks +3, 46.5 over/under. We're going to take the over. And we go to our next game, which is Carolina and the Cowboys. Yay, yay, yay. What a game here, folks. Wasn't sure where we're going to go with this, and then I noticed that somehow, for some reason, Carolina is favored. I think it's because they're home. They are favored -1.5. Yeah, -1.5. There's a 43.5 over under. We are going to take Carolina, and we are going to take the under. Our next game up is Kansas City. Kansas City at Cleveland. Wow, big game. This game should just be a automatic blowout. I don't think there should be any doubt who's winning this game, as long as the Kansas City Chiefs decide to play a little bit of football. So I would. What am I doing? What am I doing? Jesus. My bad, folks. I'm still getting used to this, but I'm getting better at it. I just fuck up a lot. I had it all down, right? Then I just had the Jags up. Carolina up there. There we go. Right, we're at the Carolina. No, we're at Kansas City. Kansas City and the Browns. Okay. Kansas City versus the Browns. So let's get them out of there. And we are set. Okay. So we got the Browns home against Kansas City. I'll get this down, folks. Just hang in there. What are you going to do? I'm an amateur at this, but I'm getting used to it. We're presenting more and more for you. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. Kansas City on the road at Cleveland. Kansas City -5, over under 45.5. We're going to take the over, and we're going to take Kansas City -5.5. We go to our next game, which is Miami and the Texans. The Texans. Whoop. That's not supposed to be there. You wouldn't believe me if I told you I did all this already. Texans, Miami. Miami plus 2.5, 47.5 over under. 47.5 over under. We're going to take the over, and we're going to take Miami plus the 2.5. This is a big game for Miami. If Miami could pull this one off and go to 7-7, they could be on the outside looking in. Yeah, they're at the Texans. Yeah, they're 6-7. Texans are 8-5. This is a big game for the Texans too. So the Texans need this game, and the Dolphins need this game. So this was one of your big games of Week 15 right here. It may not seem like with the Dolphins being 6-7, but hell, a lot changes when if the Dolphins pull this off. So give us the Dolphins a 2.5, 47.5 over under. We're going to take the over. Our next game, we have the Bengals taking on the Titans. Another big game. Well, it's not a big game. I thought it would. I thought. Well, let's see what Cincinnati Bengal team shows up over the Titans. We're going to take the Bengals -5. You got a 47.5 over under. We're going to take the under. I'm pretty sure that the Bengals will put most of the points up. That defense in Cincinnati though is so sporadic, but I'm going to put a little bit of faith in them because I don't think the Titans got much on offense. So hopefully a weak defense will balance that, and we'll see where we go. But we're going to take the Bengals -5, and we're going to take the under 47.5. That's a lot of points in that game. Which brings us to our next game, which I think is another very, very, very interesting game. The Saints and the Redskins. Saints and the Redskins. This is one of those weird unwritten type of rivalry games that you really don't think of as a rivalry. But these two teams historically play some great games. Washington is coming off the bye, which is big, which is good. They go to the Saints. Saints are 5-8. Redskins are 8-5. Massive game for the Redskins if they want to stay close to the Eagles and keep themselves away from any glimmer of hope from anybody else in the East, like Cowboys, which is not there. But if they want to keep pace for the wild card, because the wild card is getting pretty fucking intense right now. So you might want to win this game there, Washington. So we got the Redskins. They are a huge -7.5. They're a -7.5 favorite in this game in New Orleans. So Redskins -7.5, 42.5 over under. This could be a shootout. I'd look for the Redskins to put up some points and then just pull away. Let's take the Redskins -7.5, and we'll take the over of 42.5, which I think is very doable in this game for sure. And that brings us to our next game, which is the Jets go to Jacksonville. Jets at Jacksonville. This game here, we have a lot of things going on here in this game. If you remember last week, I was talking about the Belichick possibly going to. I know he had a meeting with North Carolina. That is what it is. Belichick's not going to be coaching in the college football ranks. I just don't see it happening. What I do see happen is him possibly landing in Jacksonville. And if he does land in Jacksonville, we talked about the possibility being that Rodgers is not happy with the Jets. Why not trade Lawrence to the Jets for Aaron Judge? Bring Aaron Rodgers down. Got that fucking Soto on my mind. Bring Aaron Rodgers down to Jacksonville with Belichick. Give him, let him finish up his career under Belichick with a good draft pick, quarterback or whoever they got down there backing up now. Let him sit a year behind Rodgers, work the kinks out, and Belichick could be off to the races. Then you got Jacksonville as a definite contender every year. So this has there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes in this game that I see, and it's my opinion, and that's all that really matters, I guess. I'm an expert in my opinion, but Jacksonville, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for a new culture down there, and the Jets are they're a fucking mess. They're a disaster. But we're going to take the Jets this week in Jacksonville, -3.5. You got a 40.5 over under. We're going to take the over in the 40.5, and we're taking the Jets -3.5. Like I said, folks, a lot of crazy things could happen, and one of them could be you could be seeing of quarterbacks right here, and a new boss in town in Jacksonville being Belichick. And if the Jets have any brains at all, I know a lot of Jet fans don't agree with it. You said you already been there and done that, but you need Rex Ryan. You need culture back. Brings us to our next game, which is the Ravens and the Giants. Wow, this is going to be it's going to be ugly, folks. This is going to be an ugly one. The Ravens are going in 14.5 points. -14.5. That's our highest spread of the year that I can remember. I remember 13.5. I don't remember anything or giving or taking 14 points all year. So this is the highest one. We're going to take the Ravens -14.5. The over-under is 43.5. The Ravens might do that themselves on the Giants. Coming off the bye. Wow, what a week to come off the bye against these guys. Like I said, it's going to be very, very ugly in the Meadowlands. 43.5, we'll take it. Ravens -14.5, we'll take it. And that brings us to another game, which is pretty much a lot of people are saying could be the game of the week. I wouldn't disagree with that. Steelers go to Philly to play the Eagles. When we look at this matchup here, looking at the matchup, you got 10-3 Steelers who are playing really good football, playing some stellar defense, keeping teams out of the end zone. There's a lot going on in Pittsburgh. Then you go to the Eagles with the drama in and out of the locker room, on and off the field. They're playing scorching football, won 9 in a row. You would think they lost 9 in a row. But game of the week, I wouldn't argue with it. But the Steelers, we're going to take the Steelers +5.5, 42.5 over under. We're going under in this game. I think we're going to see some serious defense. And it's going to be one of those 1 or 2 plays, probably a special teams play right here, and put the Steelers out and win it. But we'll take the Steelers +5.5, 42.5 over under. We'll take the under. I can't wait to see the highlights from this one, folks. This one's going to be a good one. I would imagine this is going to be a real good one. And we go on to our next game, which is the Broncos and the Colts. Broncos and the Colts. When you say huge games, I've been saying, I think I said it for almost every game this week, pretty close. Big game for Denver, without a doubt, and a massive game for the Colts. in Denver. Could be a weather game. I should have marked this as a weather game. So let's put this down as a weather game. Yeah, we'll put this down as a weather game for sure. Broncos 8-5, Colts 6-7. Colts need the win. They need the win. The Broncos need the win. There's a lot of need. There's a lot of needing this week. Everybody needs something this week. So let's look for the Broncos to need it more. -4. We'll take the Broncos -4, 43.5 over under. We're going to take the over. Yeah, a lot of needing here, man. A lot of needing. And we'll go to our next game. What's our next game up? Oh boy. Everybody says this is the game of the week, and most people are probably right. This probably is pretty much close to the game of the week right here. We go to Buffalo. Whoops. We go to Buffalo and the Lions. Buffalo and the Lions, my friends. So here we go. After what we've seen against the Rams, no doubt in the world, Buffalo can put points up. What we've seen Detroit do all year long, there is no doubt that the Lions can put points up. But there has to be a breaking point. Something along the lines has to give. It has to. It's just it's physics, it's science. Something has to give one way or another. Which one of these two teams breaks on Sunday? When I say again a must win, you would say, hey, both of these guys are there. They're both going to the playoffs. Yeah, but it's more important right here for Buffalo to win, to stay in pace with Kansas City with just 4 games left. All right, Buffalo is 10-3. Chiefs are 12-1. They're 2 games in the lead. If you want any hope, if you can at least tie them, you'll get the tiebreaker because you already beat them. So the Lions, they're 12-1. A loss here doesn't kill them, doesn't help, but doesn't kill them. So I think that the Bills are a lot more hungry. So let's look for the Bills to go into Detroit, take out the Lions, and get back to Buffalo and finish out the year. Bills +2, 54.5 over under. 54.5 over under. Let's be bold this week, folks. We're taking the over. We're going to take the over 54.5. I think that's our highest of the year too. So we might have 2 highs here that we're giving away. We're giving away 14.5 to the Giants, and then we're giving 54.5 over under. So take the Bills +2, 54.5 over. We'll go over. And then we come on to a game for me. It would be nice to see the Patriots knock off the Cardinals. Is that going to happen? Chances are, I would say no. I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, my bad. I don't think that's going to happen. I would hope that it would happen. If it does happen, it definitely helps Tampa out tremendously. But I think the Cards got a little bit more. -6.5, 46.5 over under. 46.5 over under. We're going to take the under, and we're going to take the Cards minus the 6.5. I just don't think the Pats got it in them to give me the win that we need here. But who knows? The Cardinals have been hit or miss all year. They came out of the gate. They look strong. I thought I ate my words, but now they're looking like the Cardinals of old. So maybe I'm not too worried, but I definitely ain't worried about the Patriots coming in and knocking them off. So why not? We'll give the points and see what happens. 6.5, not bad. Which brings us to our next game. Yep, I'm going to say it again. Another huge game. This is a big one. And this one is a big one for so many reasons. But Seattle at home against the Packers. This is notoriously a great game. It just always seems that these two teams lock up no matter where they're at. It always seems to be an interesting game. We all remember the Hasselback were his because we're going to win in the playoffs. And then they won the toss, and his first pass went for a pick six the other way, and that was the end of that. You talk about eating your words, and that was instant karma. Even John Lennon couldn't have wrote it that better. But yeah, Packers go into Seattle. This could be a weather game. Let's make this a weather game too. Packers Seattle. You're looking at the Packers -3. Over under. Yeah, I did write a weather game, so yes, this is our weather game. 46.5 over under. We're going to take the over, and we're going to take the Packers -3. Should be an interesting game. Love and Geno Smith. See who comes out on the tops end of that. Then we move on to the Vikings and Bears. Oh boy. Vikings and Bears. Well, we all know where we're going with this one. We're going to take the Vikings -6.5, 43.5 over under. The Vikings might put that up themselves. I said that a couple times this year, and Detroit did it, and one other team did it. Let's look for the Vikings possibly to do it. I think the Ravens might do it this week too. 43.5, both over and unders are 43.5 in those games. So we'll take the Vikings -6.5 and go over with 43.5. Really not too much going on there. And then the last game of the week, again, not that exciting of a game, but a pretty big game for me because I would really appreciate the Raiders to win one here and take out the Falcons at home. It would do me a world of good, make me very, 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 very happy to see that happen. What happened to the Raiders? Oh, there they are. They're not supposed to be there. There you go. Next week, I will have this down pat. I think I got it down pat. But either way, let's keep it rocking. Raiders, we're going to take the Raiders. We're taking the Raiders this week. We're going to take the Raiders +4.5, 44.5 over under. We're going to take the over too. We're going all out because it's Vegas. We're going to take the Raiders to knock off the Falcons just because I don't like the Falcons and I want a Raider victory. It'd be nice to see the Raiders back in the winner's circle. So there you have it. Our week 15 picks rather. Our week 15 picks, there they are, and our over and unders. That was fun. That was painful to get through. Real quick while I'm at it, let's do this. Let's get this out of the way. I want to announce this. On Sunday, not sure exactly what time. On Sunday, I'll have to look at it to get into it. But the World Championships of Darts starts in the Ali Pali in London on Sunday. 15 days of professional darts. The world's top dart experts, champions go at it in London for one of the biggest purses in the world. I don't know what it equals in its pounds it comes out to, but it's millions of dollars, and we're going to cover it. What I mean by cover it is we're just going to have a daily update on where the rankings are, who the top players are, who's in, who's out, and all that fun stuff. I have been into into the PDC for many years now, and I absolutely love it. I just put up a picture of Phil the Power Taylor, who is the king. He's the 16-time world champ, and he was just lights out. Look, folks, if you're not familiar with any of this, my advice to you is go on YouTube, just put in the PDC, just type in Phil the Power Taylor. Just type in Phil the Power Taylor and watch the highlights, and you'll be fucking amazed. Constant drama. It's an amazing sport. It really is. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's not tennis, it's not golf, it's not bowling. But it is super, super intense, and these guys are fucking so incredible to watch and perform, especially under the pressure that they have. So we'll be covering the PDC World Championship of Darts starting Sunday or late, probably late, I would probably come out to late Sunday morning. Pretty sure. There's our other sponsors. I want to check them out. Reaper Apparel, Bowser Bros Painting. Check them out. My wife's handbags, designer handbags. That's in the links. Don't forget our other sponsor, Dubby. Our other sponsor there, Dubby. So there you go. Everything's in the description, folks. And if you could help out the show, we appreciate it. The links are, everything is in the descriptions. Just get into the descriptions and go from there and love life more than anything. And there you go. All right, what else we got going here? What else we got going? We have playoffs to talk about. We have playoffs to talk about. If the playoffs ended today, what would we be looking at? Well, we'd be looking at the Lions were top of the NFC. They're top of the NFC with their bye, so they don't have too much to worry about. The Lions are in top of the NFC with really nothing to worry about. But if the playoffs ended today, we would be looking at, in the NFC, we would be looking at the Redskins, at the Eagles. We'd be looking at the Packers and Seahawks, which is this week's game. So here, you're looking at a possible playoff scenario game right there in front of you. The 6 seed and the 3 seed as of right now today, the Packers and Seahawks. So basically what you're watching is a playoff game. And then you would have the Vikings coming to Tampa Bay, which would really be interesting. And I have no fear of taking anybody on in Tampa this year. Looks good. In the AFC, of course, Kansas City Chiefs are atop. But we were looking at the Broncos at the Bills, Chargers at Steelers, and Ravens at Texans. The really thing that's weird there is having the Ravens on the road, Chargers on the road, going to Pittsburgh. They've played some epic games in the past. But, yeah, there's some interesting matchups right there. But that's all going to change, folks. Don't look at that to go anywhere. Don't etch that in stone, I should say. But, yeah, that's your playoff picture as you see there. And as things shape up in week 15, week 16, we'll see we'll check that out again next week and see how much it shuffles. We did have a missed face mask call in the game last night on Joe Burrow. I don't know how they missed that, especially when you're trying to protect the quarterback. I thought a referee was always watching the quarterback, but apparently not that time. All it meant there is that the Bengals would have kept the ball and wouldn't have had the punt block. So either way, it worked out. I don't know what's up with Parsons, but he had a meltdown on the sideline in the Dallas game on Sunday and wound up walking off the field before the game was over. There were still 7 seconds left on the clock, and he's walking off. some crazy shit going on. There's a lot of drama going on. So between the Eagles and Cowboys, one losing, you would kind of expect shit like that, but one winning, you wouldn't expect shit like that. So again, welcome to Bizarro World NFL. After week 14, it gets even fucking crazier. Even crazier, folks. Let's take a look at the league leaders. Oh, man. Take a look at the league leaders. It's the only thing I have on my phone, and I always forget to bring it over. But let's see. Here we go. Going into week 15 in the NFL, our leaders. Let's see what we got. We got passing yards. We got Joe Burrow at 3,706, leading it. Geno Smith. Geno Smith is second in the league in passing yards with 3,474. Kirk Cousins, 3,396 yards. I think he has 300 interceptions this year. Baker Mayfield holds on to fourth place with 3,329 yards, and Matthew Stafford with 3,303 yards. Those are your passing leaders. Your passing in touchdowns. Burrows with 33, Lamar Jackson with 29, Sam Darnold with 28, Baker Mayfield with 28, and Jeff Goff with 25. Receiving yards. Ja'Marr Chase with 1,319 yards. Jefferson of Minnesota, 1,170 yards. Lamb of the Cowboys, 973. Judy of the Browns, 944. And Bowers having an incredible year as a rookie tight ender. He is fifth in the league in receiving yards with 933. Should be over 1,000 going into next week. Or he'll definitely be over 1,000 for the year. That's phenomenal. And that's on 87 catches, so he's a find. Receiving touchdowns. Chase of the Bengals with 15. McLaurin of Washington with 9. St. Brown of the Lions with 9. Westbrook of the Titans with 8. And Kittle with the Niners with 8. Rushing yards. This, folks, this is something to bestow this year in the NFL when it comes to rushing and the running backs. Barkley is on his way to 2,000 and possibly on his way to breaking Eric Dickerson's record. He sits atop the board with 1,623 yards, with Derrick Henry right behind him with 1,407 yards. Jacobs of the Packers, 1,053 yards. Gibbs of the Lions, 1,016 yards. And Williams of the Rams, 1,013 yards. However, folks, Hubbard with the Panthers is 6th with 1,011 yards. Right now, going into week 15, we have 6 running backs over 1,000 yards. And going into next week, Robinson of the Falcons, Kamara of the Saints, Pollard of the Titans all have an opportunity to go over 1,000 themselves. And we'll be having 9 running backs. 9 running backs at over 1,000 yards in the season. That's history. That's got to be history. We're going to check into that number, but that just seems beyond phenomenal. So kudos to the running backs this year. What a fucking amazing show they're putting on. Rushing touchdowns. Derrick Henry still leads the league, though. 13. He's tied with Jalen Hurts with 13 of the Eagles. Williams of the Rams with 12. Montgomery with the Lions with 12. And Cook with the Bills with 11. Interceptions. Joseph of the Lions with 7. McKinney of the Packers with 7. Murphy of the Vikings with 6. Jackson with the Steelers and Humphrey of the Ravens with 5 apiece. Defensive tackles, if you remember last week, we had 3 Colts in the top 5 with 100-plus tackles. Well, this week we only have 2. One's been knocked down. I don't think he started. Speed didn't start. But we got Franklin of the Colts leading with tackles, 135. Baker of the Cardinals, 132. Braun of the Eagles with 128. Cross, there's the other Colt, 125, and Sherwood of the Jets with 121. Trey Hendrickson, who wants out of Cincinnati, he's asking for a trade. He wants to get the hell out of town. He leads the league in sacks with 12.5. Myles Garrett with 11 of the Browns. Nick Bonito of the Broncos with 11. Hunter of the Texans with 10.5. And McDonald with the Jets with 10. Those are your league leaders going into Week 15. Pretty amazing year that some of these guys are putting up some really, really, really incredible numbers. The running backs, I mean, you think about that, next week having 9 running backs of over 1,000 yards. Like I said, we're going to have to dig into that number and find out where that number comes from and where it goes, and if it's ever been done before, and if it has, how many running backs in 1 year have rushed for 1,000 yards. There can't be many, because I personally, I can't remember any. I'm just saying, I can't personally remember anything like that. I think it was very rare to have it was rare to get a running back to even get 1,000 yards in a season, to eclipse 1,000 yards in a season, to get 1,500 yards in a season. These were all hard to do, but now it seems to be the thing to do. So, all right. Sorry, folks. Hold on 1 second. Just got to move that to there. And there. And there you go. Got to get these plugs in, man. We need the help we can, man. It's the holidays. So feel free to give and help the show out. Sponsors are in the links. Dubby Reaper Apparel Company, Christiana's Designer Handbags, Bowser Bros Painting. It's all in there, folks. Go check it out and save big for the holidays. Let's take a peek at Week 16. Starting on Thursday night on December 19th, the Broncos and Chargers, which, again, we're gonna have that's a big game right there. And then we have a Saturday game. We have the Texans going to the Chiefs. We have the Steelers going to the Ravens on Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, whatever. And then Sunday we got the Giants at the Falcons, Patriots at the Bills, Cardinals at Panthers, Lions, Bears, Titans, Colts, Rams, Jets, Eagles, Commanders, Browns, Bengals, Vikings, Seahawks, Jags, Raiders, Niners, Dolphins. Sunday night game is the Bucs and the Cowboys. And Monday night is the Saints and Packers in Lambeau. That's just a peek at Week 16. So much fun this time of year in the NFL, folks. You got to love this time of the year in the NFL. So much happening. So much going down. So much happening, so much going down. So much happening, so much going down. So much happening, so much going down. All right. Yeah, I know that's what it gets like around here sometimes. But hey, you never know what's going to happen around here. We just have to well, whatever. All right. So, coming up tomorrow night is the premiere of NFL Top 5 and Spotlight Player. What we're going to do is we're going to knock down the top 5 by positions, starting with the top 5 NFL punters of all time. That's tomorrow night. Plus, the Spotlight Player is Wilbert Montgomery of the Eagles. So tomorrow night, the top NFL top 5 punters of all time. that I've ever seen play. Again, this is my top 5, and it's of the players that I've seen play. And the spotlight player of Wilbert Montgomery, I just picked him out of the blue, and we'll take a peek and see what Wilbert was up to for his career with the Eagles and so on. So that's tomorrow night. That's in the thing there. We'll be on, I believe it's 8 o'clock or 8:30 tomorrow night. It's one of those times. And then Thursday night, we have a new show on Thursday night as well. So a new show tomorrow night, the NFL Top 5, starting off with the top 5 punters of all time and spotlight player Wilbert Montgomery. Thursday night, pregame, just before kickoff. We'll do a pregame. Just run it down real quick, go over some news and some highlights of whatever's happening and stuff like that. Hey, thank you, Al. That's big for us. Thursday night, and that's at 7:30 Pacific time. Everything's Pacific time that I say. I put all the starting times in there, Eastern time. I even got one in there for Down Under somewhere, for my folks down under. Johnny Basement, got you. Finally got your description in the. I got your link in the description finally. Don't forget, go check out Johnny Basement. Behave yourselves. We had a good time the other night. He's on tomorrow night with the Rangers and Sabre game. So if you haven't checked them out, tomorrow's a good night to start. I'll be going there and hanging out for a while too before my show. So that should be fun. Check out Johnny Basement. Check out everything. We got a lot of shit going on, folks. Saving you money. Help us out, if you know what I mean.
Hoo-ah! Hoo-ah!
Yeah. So, Thursday night pregame. So pregame, check that out. We'll be on tomorrow night before the Niners and Rams are tomorrow night. Forgot. Right? Yeah, Niners Rams tomorrow night. We'll be on just before the game with the pregame. Friday night show. Wrap up this week where we look at news stories from all over the world, what the headlines are, what's going on, and we also dig deep into some old-time news stories, shit you never heard of before. It's almost like a history lesson. And to show you that it's a history lesson, you can participate with the live chat bullshit session. So come on and join us Friday night, 9 o'clock Pacific, midnight on the East Coast. It's a midnight show on the East Coast, so have fun with that. Ain't doing nothing at midnight on the East Coast. Tune in and watch us and hang out with us in our live bullshit chat session, along with news around the globe, all kinds of just a natural bullshit session surrounded around whatever's happening or happened. That's Friday night. And we got more shows coming up. Like I said, PDC World Championship darts from London at the Ali Pally starting on the 15th. We will have a pre-show for that, and then we'll plug in every day for a little while and give you the updates as they happen. Got to get the time situated. They're 8 hours ahead of us, so I'll have to figure all that out. It's going to be fun. But tune in for that, too. Keep an eye here on YouTube, Rumble, X. We're all there. Check us out on X at, I don't know what my name is over there. What is it? I think it's Victor A. Valenti 820-1963. At Victor A. Valenti 820-1963. That's at Twitter. We'll have to get that in the descriptions too. Go to the website, check out everything on the website. There's there's a lot of articles on there. There's pictures, there's all kinds of shit on the website. Go check it out. You could have a lot of fun. Check out the merchant link situation there too. Click on that to get to all our sponsors and save big. It's the holiday season, folks. Come on. Cheer up, spend some money, donate some money, help us out, help the sponsors out.
Hoo-ah! Great ass!
There we go. We have great ass too. So either way, check all that shit out in the descriptions. We'll see you tomorrow night with the NFL top 5 of all time, starting with the punters, spotlight player. We'll see you Thursday night for the pregame before the Niners and Rams game. We'll see you Friday night with our Splendid live chat bullshit session. Wrap up this week, or wrap the week up. Sorry, wrap up the week. That's what that show's called. So we don't want to screw that one up. You know, if you know what I don't want to screw that one up, if you know what I mean.
You on drugs?
No, not. Either way, folks, we're going to have a good time. Like I said, what's all we do here is we have a good time. We try to bring you good entertainment. We're bringing you NFL. We're bringing you baseball. We're bringing you darts. We're bringing you bullshit sessions. We're bringing you Dubby. We're bringing you Reaper Apparel Company. We're bringing you Bowser Bros Painting. We're bringing you Christiana's Hand Designer handbags. We're bringing a lot of things to you, folks. So how about helping us out to a little bit? A cup of coffee. Links are in the description to help the show. Other than that, I think we're getting ready to get on out of here.
You're a fucking mumbling, stuttering little fuck. You know that?
Yeah, I know that. I sometimes get a little too high before I get on here. But as you can see, we got graphs and everything going on. We're halfway home, folks. We're bringing you good production. So I hope you're enjoying everything you're seeing. Get in the comments. Chat when I'm on. Rumble, hit the rant. YouTube, I don't know what the deal is over there. They keep changing rules. I don't know if I'm making money or not over there. But if you can, help the show out either way. We're on YouTube, like, share, subscribe. And on Rumble, like, follow, rant, and do all that fun stuff. And just give us a little heart on the X. Check out the X too. So I guess it's time to, get out of here, folks. Been another great show. Really enjoy it. Can't wait for tomorrow night. Can't wait for Thursday night. Can't wait for Friday night. Can't wait for Sunday when we bring you the PDC updates from the World Championships. So don't forget, folks.
Great ass!
Is always good. And please get in the descriptions. Click those links on the sponsors and help us out. And if you don't want to help out the sponsors, you could help us out instead. Or if you're really feeling good because it's the holidays, donate to the show. Buy something from Dubby. Buy something from Reaper Apparel. Buy something from Christiana's Designer Handbags. And call Bowser Bros in the Sacramento, Berkeley, and San Francisco areas for all your painting needs. Inside, outside, commercial, residential. All right. Again, I guess we'll see you tomorrow night. With a new show. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. We do an awful lot of research when we put on a show, and we put a lot of work into it. So please, enjoy it and understand that a lot of work does go in behind it. And all we want to do is do the best that we can for you and bring you the best we can. So until next time, folks, when you come up to the third floor, always remember to bowl up, to beam up, and then beam on up to the third floor. And we'll be hanging out here just waiting on you in time and space. Peace.